Okay, this tutorial is going to show you how to use Dreamweaver for the first time. Now it can be a little bit daunting once you open it up with so many different boxes and options and menus, but I'm just going to show you how it's quite easy to get used to things once you've had a little bit of practice. So what we're going to do in this tutorial, we're going to open a new HTML page. We're going to split the page up into different sections using a table, and we're then going to add your web button graphic that you created in the previous tutorial. I'll then show you a couple of other hints and tips when using Dreamweaver. So start programs, and obviously Macromedia, but not Fireworks this time. We're going to use Dreamweaver. And the first thing you'll notice when you click on Dreamweaver, it gives you an option, either designer or coder. Now we're going to click on designer view today because this is where most beginners will start. Coders for the more advanced user. Okay, so click on make sure designer is selected and click OK. And Dreamweaver 8 will load up. Now this page looks similar to the starter page of Fireworks, and what we need to do is create a new but HTML page. I'll just click on that HTML page, and you'll see this is basically our page. If there's nothing on it yet, so we're going to add some content to it. So the first thing we need to do is split the page up into different sections so that we can organize where our images, where our text, where our graphics go, etc. So we're going to first of all insert, and we're going to go to table, and a pop-up menu will appear. And it's saying 3 rows and 3 columns, which is fine for now. So we're going to leave it with 3 rows, 3 columns. First one we need to change is the table width. We don't want 200 pixels because that's going to be nowhere near wide enough. So instead we're going to go to 100, but change it from pixels to %. So now the table will fill the whole width of the page. And the second thing we need to change is the border thickness. Now if we leave this to 1, our table will have a black line showing all the divides, and we don't want this to be seen when the web page is viewed. So we're going to delete 1 and we're going to put it to 0, and then click OK. So you can now see our table. Now we need to first of all drag this down, so these black squares are the areas where you can drag and resize content. Now you've got to be careful that you don't click off it, because if you don't click on it properly it goes away. And okay, so you need to make, if you do click off it by mistake, you need to make sure you've got the whole box outlined like that, like it's all red. If I'm just click there, it will only get a certain part, so I need to make sure that I've got the whole red outline like so, and then click once, and I can now then drag this down. Probably about there, it's fine. Okay, so now our page is split up into 9 different boxes, and we can add images, text, video, Twitter feeds, header graphics, you name it, you can put it on. Okay, so what we're first of all going to do, we're going to put our web button graphic on this page. Okay, so it doesn't really matter how I'm laying it out for now, I'm just showing you how we get stuff into our page. So we need to insert. We go to this menu every time we want to put something in. Insert. Now we don't want to go to image. We want to go to image objects, because as you'll see from the pop-out menu, there's an option here at the bottom that says Fireworks HTML. Now in the previous tutorial you learnt how to export your Fireworks graphic to the correct format. So if you've saved it correctly, it should be in your folder. So I'm going to browse. I'm going to go to my area, Charlton J, Year 10 Creative Eye Media, Unit 211, in my website folder, and there is my button. Now you need to make sure when you're selecting this file that it's the one with the Internet Explorer icon. Yep, this one's no good, this one's no good, and this one's no good. It has to be this one with the Internet Explorer, and it also says URL Hypertext Transfer Protocol over it. So with that selected, I'm just going to click Open and then click OK. Now, because I've not saved my document, it's telling me that it won't work properly without me saving it. So I'm just going to click OK here, and it's then going to bring up the Save As menu. So I'm going to call this page the index page. Now, the home page of any website is always called the index page. It's not called the home page, it's called the index page. So I've just typed index, and then I'm going to click Save. And we can see that our button is now in our page. Now I'm just going to, you can see the asterisk means it's not saved, so I'm just going to File again and then Save. And I'm going to see now if this button works in our web page. So I'm going to File, Preview in Browser, and go across this menu. Now you get two options, iExplore or iExplore 8. Now iExplore does not work. It has to be iExplore 8. So I'm going to click on that. iExplore 8 loads up, and let's see if it works. If I hover over it, yes it does. Okay, the button works correctly. I'm going to go back to Dreamweaver. Now you can see once I've inserted this button, it's kind of messed all my table up a little bit, and it's just tends to do that for some reason. So you can always drag and slide things over to the correct way you want them to be. Yeah, just like so. And you'll notice that the button is bang in the middle of the vertical axes. Yeah, there's space here and there's space here. Now if you want that button to be up here, okay, once you've clicked into this box like so, you notice that you've got a couple of options down the bottom. There's loads of options down here. Now the vertical is on default. Now by default it means it just goes straight to the middle. What we want to do is change the default to top, and now you can see, now I've changed it to top, that the button snaps to the top. If I change that to the bottom, obviously it's going to go to the bottom of that cell, but for now I want this at the top, and I can then pull this cell right up because we don't need any of that space. And I could then add maybe a couple of more graphics. I don't know, an about button, a gallery button, contact us button, whatever. And it's also important to know that you can split and merge cells. Okay, so if, for example, I wanted 4 buttons or 5 buttons along the top, and I've only got 3 cells, I could click in this cell. I could then right click, table, and I could then go to split cell. Now it's asking me, do I want either 2 rows, so that would be split it horizontally, or do I want 2 columns? Now I want 2 columns for this, and obviously 2 there. Click OK. And you can see that is now split into 2. Can also do exactly the same for this one. Split cell, columns, OK. And it just gives you that flexibility so that you can align your content in the way you want it to. Now on this second row here, I've decided that I want to put a big image in, but I've got 3 sections now. I just want one big section on this one. So what I can do is click in one of the boxes and highlight across. That's all it is. I'll show that again. So if I click here and I just use my mouse and drag across, you can see I've got all 3 selected. So now when I right click anywhere, I can go to table, and the merge cells option is now available. So I click on that, and guess what happens? It's merged all 3 of the cells, just got one big cell. So let's put a big image in there somehow. Okay, so I'm going to just file, save this. I'm going to go to Internet Explorer, And I'm going to get myself an image that I can use to put in that space. So let's quickly go to Google. And I've decided that I want a big, let's go for sunset image. Hopefully get a nice big picture. It's my plan anyway. And let's see. So I'm gonna go. Let's see what we can get. It's a medium because I don't want it too big. This one looks okay. We'll just put this one for now. So I'm going to right click on the image. Actually, I'll open it up first so I've got a full size. Full size image, right click. Now I don't want to copy this. Yep, I can't just copy and then paste in Dreamweaver. It doesn't work like that. Okay, we have to link or insert the file in. So the first thing we need to do, rather than copy, is right click, save the picture as. Now in your web folder, you should have, if you followed the tutorial correctly, have made yourself an images folder. I'm just going to call it, it's already called sunset for me. I'm just going to click save. So now when I go back to my Dreamweaver folder, make sure I'm in the correct section. I'm going to insert, and just an image this time. Click, so I don't need any fireworks XML, just an image. And I'm going to go into the images folder and click on the sunset. And then I'm going to click OK. OK. And we can see that that's now in the page. Now, along the bottom, maybe I want to put, maybe I want to resize this image just a little bit so I've got a bit of room. I'm going to drag this up, like so. And in this section here, merge these two cells as well. Right click, table, merge, and I could then write my text. This is or whatever. You get the idea. Just some random text there, doesn't matter. Okay, so now I'm just going to save, and let's see how it's looking in the browser. Remember, preview in browser, iExplore 8, and because we've already had the internet open, it's just going to pop up here. It's flashing blue. So I'm going to click on that, and there we go. Our basic, very basic web page has got a Fireworks HTML button that hovers over and changes. It's got a picture and it's got some text. Let's go back to the page. Now you can also change some of the style. So if I highlight this text, maybe if I want to choose a different font, like so. I could also change the size. Could also change whether it's bold or italic or whatever. Loads and loads of different options here. Text color, maybe a dark blue or something like that. But you get the idea. There's literally no limit on what you can do. Now also, if you wanted to add an actual link to your button, you could click on your button and where it says link, just get rid of the JavaScript and it could be something such as google.com. So hopefully that will work. Should work anyway. Save. So let's preview it one last time. So when I hover over it, it should take me to Google. Lost my. Actually, no, it's my fault. I put HTTP. Yes. Yep. So I've put I didn't put HTTP www instead, by mistake. So now, hopefully, when I click on it, it will take me to Google, and it has. It's worked. Okay, so that's just a basic tutorial of your first using Dreamweaver. We know how to insert a fireworks graphic that we've exported into HTML using the insert image objects fireworks HTML. We know how to split or merge cells using the right click and table tool and a merge or split. We know how to insert an image just using insert image by saving one from Google. And we know how to add some basic text and either change the font, colour or style. So if you want to have a go at that, have a go at getting your web button that you've created into Dreamweaver, and then we can start actually building a bit further on this. So off you go.